Hi, this is Dennis with Second Chance Tackle. Today will be an interesting presentation. We're going to look at a piece of fishing equipment that was sent in by George. George is out of Virginia. He's out of West Winchester, Virginia. He sent me something just because it's a curiosity more than anything else. And well, I've got questions more than I have answers. So we'll tell a little story today, and hopefully our channel viewers can fill in the blanks here because I have a lot of questions. What did he send me? He sent me a Herters depth finder. So depth and temperature finder. And while it says press to read, we have some electrical stuff here. The dominant one is a little piece of metal on the end of the wire. And it appears to be that there's something inside there, maybe a little sending unit or something. I'm not quite sure what that is, but there is a wire in here. And well, this unit, as I mentioned, is a temperature and depth finder, and it gives you depth codes. So somehow it's going to determine the depth. It's got various colors: red, red green, red blue. So there's going to be more than one: red, yellow, red, violet, red, green, and so on, all the way down to 75 feet. And it's going to tell you, interestingly enough, the types of fish and what the habitat is that's ideal. So it says bass will be 69 to 70 degree water, bluegill 65 to 67. If you're going for striped bass, 62, and so on. But I'm more curious about the company itself. And how does this thing work? And when was it made? So let's just step back for a moment, talk a little bit about Herters. So Herters was a company that almost made 100 years in existence. It's no longer in existence today. It was founded in 1893 and it went bankrupt in 1981. So the company was, what, 90 years old, 88 years old, if I got that right, something like that. And who was Herters and where were they from and what did they do? Well, Herters, when it was founded by George Herter. He was up in Waseca, Minnesota, and although I've never been there, it became kind of synonymous with that fishing tackle. Why? Because Herters was a catalog company as well as a retail outlet. And I think it was kind of a combination. If you look by today's standards, or not that long ago standards, you had Sears as a catalog and a store type of a place, and Herters would have been that too, except that Herters' focus was on sporting goods. So it was a big source for hunters and fishermen, guides and gunsmiths, law enforcement, tackle manufacturers, forest rangers, anybody in the outdoors, commercial fishermen, trappers, explorers, all those things. And that was kind of noted in the catalogs themselves. And the catalogs were not shabby little affairs. The catalogs often ran to 650 pages covering all sorts of equipment for those folks. And again, available in the retail stores as well. Well, if you think about it, the catalog side is kind of Sears. And the big box stores by today's standards, Bass Pro and Cabela's and the like, well, they kind of followed the retail side, not only featuring equipment from name brand manufacturers like of the day. It would have been Shakespeare and Penn and Pfluger and all those types of manufacturers, but it also had store brands as well. And one of the things that Herters was well known for was their fishing lures. And ironically, their fishing lures, for the most part, were almost direct copies of popular lures. So as I was researching this, I found where we would be familiar with the MEPS spinner, the Herters knockoff was called the PEPS spinner. And when MEPS got to them, they changed the name from the PEPS spinner to the Frenchy spinner. So go figure, right? It was kind of blatant and obvious, but as the author of the articles that I was reading kind of pointed out, there's not much you can do differently in fishing lures. Everybody seems to copy whatever is hot, and I guess somewhat complacent in the copying. But kind of like the direct naming of that. That's kind of unusual, right? So Herters ran a good business. In the 70s, they fell victim to the big box stores, the Walmarts, the Kmarts, and even the specialty sporting goods stores started to run in on their business. By 81, they were out of business. And yes, you can find Herters branded merchandise today. And the merchandise that you can find is probably going to be sold by Cabela's, because Cabela's bought the brand name Herters. But the only thing I believe that Cabela's is selling is hunting knives under the Herters brand. Well, I want to take a look at this. I want to give you as many clues as you can perhaps help me with here in terms of when was this made and how was it used. So we're going to take the 4 screws off of this. George, thank you again for sending this in. It's not working, but that's okay. Sometimes just understanding what this is. If anybody has the Herter catalogs, because they are somewhat collectible, if anybody has the Herter catalog and can find this listed in there, this is the model TD3, whatever that may mean. But if you have the catalog and you can find it, that'll help unlock a little bit of the mystery here, because it'll tell us the years that it was being sold, how much it was sold for. And Herters was always known for their descriptions of the products. So many times this will tell you more than just what you can read on the face of this. It'll tell you not only how to operate it, but give you the information as to why it is a good product to buy and so on. Remember, it was a catalog. In the catalog, the words and descriptions how to sell the products, and a lot of times, well, they become embellished to get you to buy the equipment. Nice little pot handle here, readout digital there. Let's pick this up and see if we can get this off and see what goes on underneath here. Okay, so the wire comes in, and it's into some kind of dial element here. That's the meter, right? Into the dial. We have 2 separate pieces running off of that. I'm not sure if that's the sensor for the water depth and temperature. It doesn't appear that there's anything under there, and I don't see a lot of electronics, so I'm thinking this is something of a mechanical, although here's a transistor here. So that may be the thing that's changing in terms of color. I'm not sure. And we have a battery pack here. Looks like it runs on a couple of AA batteries. Oh, all right, so we have a broken spring on this one, so it probably doesn't run if I did install the batteries. A broken spring over here, lots of corrosion. I don't know, maybe we can figure out a way to make that work to see what turns on and doesn't turn on. But internally, it looks like a relatively simple device. Some kind of a transistor running here, transistor running on this side, one of them going to this post, and this being the feed in. So I guess feed comes in here, somehow gets translated here, becomes some kind of a light, and when you push this button, the juice from the battery is going to light up in various colors to tell you the depth code. And well, I guess we'll get a read of the temperature over here for that. Wow. So Herters went out of business, but a lot of their things still remain collectible. Their fishing lures are collectible. Their hunting knives are collectible. And, well, I guess their catalogs too. So again, if anybody has any additional information on this product, please let me know. This is the Herters Depth and Temperature Finder TD3. I imagine the T means temperature, the D means depth, and the 3, well, maybe this is the 3rd version of it, I'm not sure. But it is a fun little device. I'm assuming that it was intended to be used from a boat because of the way that the electronics would work. It is a handheld device, so I'm assuming probably be out on a lake maybe, or in a bass boat or something. Although it did have some salmon and walleye, pike, red snapper, striped bass. So there are some elements of salt water in here. So I don't know. Every now and then I get puzzled, but I know my channel viewers usually know what the answers are, even if I haven't seen it. So if you've seen the Herters catalog, if you have a Herters catalog, if you know a little bit more about this, please let me know, because I told George, I said, send it over. We'll try and figure out what it is. And if we can't figure it out, well, we're going to put that out there to our channel viewers. So again, the Herters Model TD3 temperature and depth reader for, I guess this is the fish finders before the Garmins and the hummingbirds and the like. And it relies basically on temperature and depth to help you pinpoint what might be out there and what might be a good thing to fish for. I hope you've enjoyed that. I had a lot of fun researching it, and I hope I've passed along some interest to you to go back and look at the history of some of these companies and understand a little bit about what they were, what they meant to the sport, and how the sport has evolved over time. I want to thank you for watching. I want to thank our first responders for everything they do in terms of helping us stay safe. And I want to encourage you to subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. If you have subscribed, thank you. I appreciate your support of the channel. That helps keep me going and presenting episodes like this in addition to the ones where I show you how to repair fishing reels. This is Dennis with Second Chance Tackle, wishing everybody a great day.